Queen Elizabeth, I'm the deadly beauty secret. She painted lead and mercury on her face every single day, and it killed her. But wait, before you click away thinking this is just another dramatic YouTube thumbnail, let me tell you something that will change how you see one of history's most powerful women forever. This is 1998's Elizabeth, that iconic scene, where the Queen emerges before her court, transformed. Look at that face. Porcelain white skin, lips red as wine, the very picture of 16th century perfection. But what you're looking at isn't makeup. It's a death mask worn by a living woman. Every morning, Elizabeth Tudor applied a layer of poison to her face. Not metaphorically, literally. Lead white mixed with vinegar, they called it Venetian white. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It was anything but. And those blood-red lips? Cinnabar. Pure mercury sulfide. Day after day, year after year, she painted herself with death itself. And here's the thing that'll keep you up at night, she knew. Somewhere deep down, she had to know what she was doing to herself. But she couldn't stop, because stopping meant something far worse than dying. It meant being seen. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. 1562, Elizabeth is 29, unmarried, ruling. A kingdom that half the world thinks should belong to a man. Then smallpox strikes. Picture this, the most powerful woman in Europe, burning with fever, her skin erupting in pustules that will scar her forever. For a week, the entire kingdom holds its breath. Will she live? Will she die? And if she dies, who takes the throne? She survives, but her face doesn't. Now imagine you're Elizabeth. You rule by divine right, they say. But you're a woman in a world that sees female weakness everywhere. Every scar on your face is a crack in your armor. Every blemish is a reason for your enemies to whisper, see, she's not invincible. She's not chosen by God. She's just damaged. So she makes a choice that will haunt her for the next 40 years. She decides to erase herself. The lead goes on first, thick as cake frosting. It stings at first, that's the acid in the vinegar eating through your skin. But it covers everything. Every poxmark, every sign of mortality. Over the years, she applies it thicker and thicker. By the end of her reign, court observers report her makeup is over an inch thick. 1 full inch. Imagine carrying that weight on your face every day. Imagine how it pulls at your skin, how it cracks when you smile, how it makes every expression feel like wearing a mask that's 2 sizes too small. But it gets worse. She doesn't take it off. Not for days. Not for weeks. Because removing it means revealing what lies underneath. And what lies underneath gets more horrifying with each passing year. When she finally does remove it, it takes a chemical process that's basically controlled acid burn. Egg whites, alum, and more mercury. They're not cleaning her face. They're dissolving the top layer of her skin, over and over again. And here's where the story takes its cruelest turn. The lead isn't just hiding the damage anymore, it's causing it. Lead poisoning eats you from the inside out. It starts with your skin turning gray and wrinkled, like old leather. Then comes the memory loss, the mood swings, the paranoia. Court records from Elizabeth's final years describe a woman who's different. Violent outbursts, forgetting conversations mid-sentence, standing for 15 hours straight because she's convinced that if she lies down, she'll never get up again. Meanwhile, the mercury in her lipstick is destroying her nervous system, one kiss goodbye at a time. But the most chilling part, she can't stop, because now her real face isn't just scarred, it's melting. Literally melting from decades of chemical burns. So she applies more lead, which causes more damage, which requires more lead. It's a death spiral painted in white and red, and through it all, she maintains the illusion. She has laws passed making it illegal to paint unflattering portraits of her. Every official image must show the same ageless, perfect face, a face that stopped existing decades ago. By 1603, the woman behind the mask is barely recognizable as human, bald except for wisps of hair around her ears. Most of her teeth gone from a lifetime of sugar. a luxury only royalty could afford, and a luxury that rotted them from the inside. Her skin is gray and weeping under pounds of toxic makeup. When foreign ambassadors meet her, they're horrified. One writes home describing a woman whose face appeared to be sliding off her skull. And still she stands. Still she rules. Still she maintains the mask. Until March 24th, 1603. She dies on a pile of cushions on the floor because she's convinced beds are where queens go to die. The official cause is pneumonia, but everyone knows the truth. The mask finally killed the woman wearing it. But here's the detail that'll haunt your dreams. Even death doesn't free her from the performance. During her funeral, witnesses report something unusual. The coffin explodes. Her lady-in-waiting, Elizabeth Southwell, claims toxic gases from the Queen's decaying body build up so much pressure that the wooden casket literally bursts open during the ceremony. Whether it's true or not, and science says it's possible, there's something perfectly, horribly poetic about it. Even in death, Elizabeth Tudor cannot be contained by the boxes people try to put her in, so they place a golden mask over her face for the public viewing. Because the real Elizabeth scarred, melted, destroyed by her own hand is too terrible for her subjects to see. She died as she lived behind a mask. But here's what keeps me awake at night thinking about this story. Elizabeth didn't invent toxic beauty standards. Lead face paint goes back to ancient Rome. Chinese foot binding broke little girls' bones for 1,000 years. Victorian corsets crushed women's ribs for the sake of an 18-inch waist. Japanese geisha painted themselves with the same mercury that killed Elizabeth. Throughout history, in culture after culture, women have been expected to transform pain into beauty, to smile while poisoning themselves, to call their suffering choice. Was Elizabeth a victim of her time? Or was she complicit in perpetuating an impossible standard? Maybe she was both. Maybe that's the real tragedy, not that she was forced to wear a mask, but that she wore it so well that generations of women after her thought it was a crown. Look around you today. How many faces do you see that are more mask than flesh? How many people are slowly poisoning themselves for the promise of perfection? The methods have changed. The poison is different, but the mask remains.